Happy Friday, Specs. Welcome. I know. It's gonna be a good day. I can feel it. I'm just waiting for people to get inside of here. What's up? Yes, gamer. Hey, Frux. Luckily, I actually woke up at like 2:50 right now because Theo is saying to like go get some sleep. So I just like woke up pretty recently. So if I still sound tired, that's probably why. My alarm didn't wake me up at the time. I wanted to wake up like 2 hours ago, and yep, that's special. Also, I don't have the Twitch chat commands on right now, so sorry. Also, Juniper, hello, welcome. You guys are just like spamming Twitch chat commands. Don't worry, we'll get into Twitch chat commands right when I wake up a little bit. Then I won't be all crazy. Fruxius, I believe. Fruxius. Gotta sound it like that. Fruxi or Fruxius. Yeah, Fruxius. Alexix says, "Hey, you're the first person I encountered. I could never forget that avatar." Nice. Glad that you met me inside here. Also, hello, Strange Dragon. Welcome to the to Twitch. Also, thank you for the follow from the back. Oh, your headset isn't working right now, Frox? Well, that's not good. Good afternoon to you, Karu. Welcome. Oh, thank you, DFG, for the tier 1 subscription, as well as for the thank you, Kiru Avali. For, oh, I already, yeah. Thank you for the follow as well. Thank you, guys. So yeah, we're just kind of gonna do like kind of a Q&A stream today. Not really too much, just hang out with you guys and chat with you, as well as, you know, answer anything that you guys may have questions about as I try to wake up, because I'm tired. Frog says I can show some of the Radiant UI dash. Yeah, that would be wonderful. I think we would definitely love to see that, as well as answering questions for people. Also, DFG, thank you so much for all those gifted subs. That was very kind of you. Anyone who got gifted sub from DFG, definitely thank them for that. That was very nice of them. Lugstein says, are tools able to support custom rigged animations? I wouldn't be too sure on that one. I don't believe that you can make out well, actually, there were animations that you could do for like pre-recording yourself that I have seen somebody create inside of here, but not something for tools to just build out animations though inside of Neos. Also, Angel, yes, welcome. And I'm doing great, CB. Welcome to the stream. Got a bunch of friends inside of here. Welcome, friends. Also, thank you for the follow, you and Lexine. Fox says you can import models with any rig pretty much and a baked animation. Yeah, so you wouldn't be able to create animations inside of Neos, but you can import stuff that has animations. For an example, I'll spawn out an object from my inventory that has an animation on it. What do I have? So I have like this hummingbird that has like a flapping wing. See? Also, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription as well, Lugustine. But yeah, you can have animations though inside of Neos. Also, Proc says you can do procedural animation in game though. Oh, well, there he goes. So it'll be procedural. Also, I noticed some people are coming inside of here. I guess they're going to be joining us. We got Coffee and Veer.
Hello.
Hey, Veer. Welcome.
Hello.
The camera's right there. If you want to say hello.
Hello.
Yes, and don't worry. We'll be doing out Twitch chat commands right when I wake up just a little bit more. We'll probably be. I'll spawn in that special chat in a little bit. Speck says, I'm in the process of rigging an avatar model of my own, and I seem to be having trouble getting the feet to walk flat and thumbs bending incorrectly. Is there a good place to find reference for expected default poses and bone positions? I would say even probably open up a model that has already been created out inside of Nails and see how the rigging would have been set up for that, as well as there's the naming convention that has to be correct as well, which we have the whole naming convention on our Neos VR wiki as well as how to say it. Also, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription from the back, and Sandy Sensei, thank you for all those gifted subs. They gave out 6 gifted or actually 5 gifted subs. Thank you for that. And Sleepy Sloth, thank you for the Twitch Prime subscription too. You guys are awesome. All of those go directly out to support out Neos and support its development, and goes to Froxys, so thank you guys for that. Also, Not Staps, thank you for the follow. Quick Nope, welcome to the Twitch channel as well. Nice to have all these new people here coming in quite quickly. Yeah. I know, we're already like getting into where people are, you know, getting inside of here quickly.
Indeed.
I think the Twitch chat is broken though, because it's not displaying out how many viewers that we have up at the top. I don't know why. I don't know why it's been doing that as of recently. It might be a bug.
It shows it in my private UI though.
Yeah, not even for my private UIs, it just shows. I could try to like reload it.
Could be the world.
Maybe.
So we have about, give it a minute, I'm waiting for it to load.
It got broken when it went above 13K, yeah. Angel says, next I finished another armor piece just today. It's on Discord if you like to show off. I'll show it off once it's finished. Spec says, thank you so much for that. Thank you, Specs, for the 200 bits. Thank you. Very nice of you.
42 users.
It says, yes, hello, I'm new here. I have a long and treated question that has already been answered in the Discord FAQ. Oh, cool. For sure, you can ask any questions. This says, question, I have a very little experience in using Blender/Unity, or really modeling in general. Is there any prior knowledge that I need to get into modeling in Neos? Will not having experience make learning in Neos much more difficult? I wouldn't say so, because you can even import models that you haven't created yourself. You can even import models that would have been through like maybe something like Sketchfab if you're wanting to just like build out something real quick. But you wouldn't have to have a lot of like knowledge through Unity or Blender to start getting to go for building out stuff in Neos, because the nice thing about it is you can actually see other people's UI and how they work on stuff and how they build on stuff. So the more time that you use Neos, the more that you learn how to set things up.
Here's where the difference between Unity and Blender and Neos is. In Blender and Unity, you're stuck in your own computer right now, just working on your desktop on your own. It's kind of hard to collaborate and see what other people are doing other than like screen sharing your window in like a Discord call. In here, like say I'm working on a model, or say like I'm like inspecting a model, say like this model right here, for example. I'm like, okay, let me just check out the aspects of it, or like any object in here. I can script, say, this object to like scale big or small, or this avatar, and then other people can see what I'm doing, and like I make an example of like how to, say, create something in here or just edit something, and I can just show them like I'm showing like someone how to, like, say, bake a cake or in real life, where you like actually show people how you're doing it.
That would definitely be used, because also, yeah, I'm in some babies. I am very tired right now, if you can't tell through my voice, so if I make no sense, that's why. Or not focus, or, well, you know, not catching
And
something.
mesh editing is planned for Neos as well, although I made a rudimentary version of it using logics as well.
Yeah, but right now all of our focus is strictly on getting out this
The
Radiant
UI.
Sandy Sensei says, but low level mesh editing still needs to be done in Blender or similar, right? For the most part,
Yeah.
most modeling that's done inside of here has been either done out through Blender or Maya or any other 3D modeling program. You can just import stuff, which you can have a higher quality. Also, MV Hunter, thank you for those 5 gifted subs. Thank you so much. As well as thank you for the follow, Q, and yeah, thank you guys. I know Pog here. Wait, if we're gonna start saying Pog in chat, then I gotta bring out that Pog popper again.
Also, Sani Sensei, one other thing to add, we are actually planning on having like full level like vertice manipulation, extrusion,
Sculpting.
you know, yeah, sculpting as well, all that kind of stuff in Neos eventually. That is definitely a planned feature. We're kind of hoping for like a whole Blender suite of tools.
Yeah, tools that would be similar to Blend, maybe like a combination of like a VR Blender with Oculus Medium type thing going for Insider. Because I really feel with a really in-depth metaverse, the thing that you need to have is some of the best creation tools that you can get. And the best thing that you can have is to have like an in-world sculpting tool where you could actually see people real time, build out avatars or build out characters in world, which I think would just be such an amazing thing to see. And I've always imagined having something that would be like that, and us getting close to something like that would be so incredible. You says in-game Twitch chat would benefit from BTTV/FZ support. I'm not sure what that is.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the terrain building is also going to be another big feature in Neos, whether it be importing existing Unity terrains or creating like either like terrains like this or even voxel-like terrains like Minecraft or so.
Yeah. Also, yeah, the world is pretty relaxed. I've already featured it. It's called Rocky Springs, and this one was by Polylogics. It's a pretty nice world. It's very calm.
Yeah.
CB Cod says,
Okay.
so stoked about for modeling / train building eventually. Yeah, me too. It's gonna be really, really nice once it's in, but it's more of the farther down that's like, you know, maybe even starting out next year possibly, not for the terrain editor for sure, but we do want to have at either the late of the end of the year or early of the next year of actually having in-world creation tools, because obviously you guys are really wanting new physics and us setting up the store system with the content ID and possibly some more optimizations that we'll go through, I'm sure, the Frox will work on.
But the Twitch extensions, it depends on if they have like a API to integrate into different games and such. So,
Oh yeah. BT better Twitch TV and
Franker Phase Z.
That would be interesting. Yeah, we could definitely look into that.
Yeah.
So he says, that sounds great. The question is how good you can do, what kind of mesh editing. Stuff like sculpting I can imagine easily, where precision vertex placement is not required. If the tools are good, having a VR mesh editing tool can have great benefit in comparison to Blender, etc. Yeah, I mean, I think VR sculpting or VR modeling doesn't get enough credit as it should. I think that it can actually make people who normally would never want to do sculpting or modeling ever on a computer now just naturally seem to get into it. I remember putting my mom inside of the VR headset and her trying out Oculus Me, and she was just having fun, just like going to town, just like pulling on stuff and doing a whole bunch of great things. So I think anyone can get into it as long as they're taught how to do it.
One thing I've like really wanted to do once like Blender, if Blender gets to this space, or once we get to this space where you can actually manipulate each individual point of a triangle and like just move it around, I made like a prototype pretty much of what it could look like.
Yeah, it's actually Adobe Medium now. Yeah, I got bought
Yeah.
by Adobe. I do know that. But is it for sale no longer on the Oculus store? Like, can I just like buy it and it would work on like Index or something like that now? Could I like just have it now through Steam VR, or do I have to still only purchase?
No
Is it
idea.
like, I don't know if that's an exclusive still anymore, but
We would have to see
Also-
until they start doing things with it.
Angel Boy VRC, about your comments with shaky hands. So we actually have a wonderful feature in Neos where we can actually smooth the positioning of our avatars. And I've got an avatar on right now that's doing that to an extreme amount. That's why I'm moving in slow motion. So you can actually curtail the shaky hands effect.
Mm-hmm.
yep, this is something that I made inside of Oculus Medium, so you can see you can do some like sculpting.
My character is actually originally
Yep.
made in Oculus Medium and then modified in Blender.
Here, I'll give chat the to display. There you go.
Let me find-
Yeah, we're streaming right now.
Yeah, we're streaming.
No, we just have a giant Twitch chat behind us, and we're just talking to the air.
To camera that goes to nowhere. No.
To the void. This world is really awesome.
Yeah, I just had
Yes,
to
we
find
all
something real
scream
quick.
to
My alarm didn't want to go off. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do something special with my alarm. I'm gonna make it so then it like plays off music. It obviously doesn't do that.
God, this
Obviously it
is
doesn't
a
play
pain
music.
trying to switch back to my other avatar.
There we go. Here's a good example of
Slow
something I made in
motion.
Oculus Medium. Oh, where'd it go? Oh, I got snapped onto this thing.
Give me
Okay,
one
I'm
second,
closing this.
Aegis. Let me just set you a broadcast so then people aren't enjoying you in your right ear, because right now you're just okay.
Just that ASMR.
Yeah, everyone is liking your voice, Aegis, in their right ear right now.
Right
Yeah,
ear.
we all talking
Okay.
into the air in VR, Angel. Angel boy.
Let me get a light in here. There we go.
This is so awesome. I love the ambience of this world.
AGSMR. Aegis mixed reality.
Yeah. Angel says also look amazing with those
Hey, Bert.
5-month beard and hairstyle. Say what? I'm confused. I don't know
Probably
what.
VR face.
Oh yeah, we actually didn't even. Oh yeah, Frox is inside here. Hello, Fruix. Now since you're inside here, boy, now we can spawn in the actual Twitch chat command, so then you can get exploded and warped and all that fun stuff. Now I'm ready for that.
And he's gone.
When Fruit, when
You
Fruit
cannot
enters-
escape the chat.
Yeet.
I actually have already shaved, but I'm growing out my hair though. I mean I shaved my face, but I'm growing out my hair on top. So that might look good. Let me respawn chat though real quick, you guys.
I actually finally got a haircut, but I had to wear a mask. I wasn't gonna do it without one though.
That must have been itchy.
Okay, so here's the thing is I tried to grow out a beard. What a horrible idea. I don't know how anyone does it. How are you supposed to enjoy sandwich? Enjoy anything that has like sauces. I mean, they get like freaking stuck
Just
inside
save it
of.
for later.
It's a flavor saver
It's
next.
gross, and it's like trapping bacteria all over your hair on your face. Like, I'm sorry, but I can't. I can't
You
deal
get
with
hungry
it.
later.
Yeah, I cannot deal with having a beard or a mustache. Right when that went off and I was able to enjoy a mayo sandwich with lots of mayo, I was like, yep, I am never gonna have facial hair again.
I don't think I ever even got to that point. It started to grow, got itchy. I'm like, nope, it's gone.
Yeah, I know.
Lip tracking works better without a beard.
Yeah, that too. So already my mouth tracking will be much better with a clean face. So Strange Dragon says, question: do Neosphere will have, or well, does Neosphere, or I don't know, will have an official YouTube, or Froxius will be the one YouTube channel for Neosphere permanently? So I've already discussed this out with Frox before in the past, and the reason why we haven't really done out the new channel is Froc's argument was it would take such a long time to get enough of the following, and he already has a lot of followers on his main channel. So we probably are just going to be having it to be on his main channel for quite a while, and uploading stuff to his main channel, because since there's already a following on that one, we might as well just have that one be, you know, where we're posting out stuff. But I did suggest before starting to post out stuff to our main channel, but I don't foresee that really happening that often.
Yeah.
And it's really not that big of a deal.
We actually
Like,
tried we actually have like official channel, but we tried like posting videos there, and the problem is like we get pretty much no engagement because the channel doesn't have following. So we decided, because like we're still like very small, it's better essentially to get the benefit like when I post it to my channel, and that way like it gets more of a boost and more people see it, more people find out about news. But I think once we essentially grow a little more, we'll set up essentially official channel, like use the one that we have for like the real like official videos, and essentially keep my channel for more like the behind the scenes, the vlog videos and so on. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Also, Azer is saying, how is the optimization going? Well, there's many optimizations that are consistently being worked on, so you have to be a little bit less vague than that, because optimizations are a very important thing for us at Neo. So there's multitudes of ones that have to be worked on, even afterwards. I think there's still
essentially there are like small optimizations like done throughout the development as I essentially work on different things. For example, like in this build, I put like a few smaller optimizations, so like some like low level, essentially working with like references, some like memory pooling, and some other things. There are also planned like optimization passes after all essentially we're finished with a bunch of different features. We do like essentially do like a profiling, so profile like how much performance does something take, and then redesign things or adjust them to gain some more performance. But also a lot of the things that we are working on in terms of features, there are actually optimizations as well. So for example, one of the things we are planning is having full physics support. So essentially we can like throw objects around and so on. And part of it will be upgrading the physics engine, because right now we're using physics engine called Beppel. We're using the first version of this engine, and it's actually one of the sources like of performance issues. Like it's not like a single one. There's like hundreds of different ones, but like it's one of the things essentially that's taking a lot of CPU time. It produces random spikes. The new version 2, it is essentially be redesigned from scratch. It has much better performance, so we're gonna essentially be integrating that version first, and also be like changing how it's integrated with Neos. Essentially, it has much better performance there as well. And as part of that work, essentially, also integrate like the dynamics, so you'll be able like throw objects around. So that way, essentially, we sort of combine like the work on the new features for Neos with some of the like optimizations and things that improve performance. Even things with the UI, for example, like these menus. These are much more performant than the old menus. Before, essentially, we had like these menus like where you had to like twist your hand, and they were both like very hard to use, but they also like they took a lot of CPU time. Like
Thank
they
you
were
for the
essentially
follow,
on the level of,
Bebop
like,
and
the entire
Gaio.
avatars and dynamic bones. Thank you for the follow. So a lot of the things essentially are like we're doing like is like doing smaller optimizations, redesigning things, or designing new features, so they're implemented in a more performant way. So it's a constant process.
So this brings up a question that Strange just said, that there should be like a possible YouTube link. Should we just link out your YouTube channel then for like the YouTube link and have it be posted out to there if we would?
Yeah, we can
in the
link as well.
description.
Yeah, we could make it so then it like links out to our YouTube channel of where we're making out the videos and where we're posting out the stuff, and eventually we could probably even like move it over once need be, once people are redirected to like the main channel or something like that. Also, Snooper, thank you. Whoa, oh my gosh.
What the heck?
I don't know how many gifted subs that is. Let me count it out.
Wait,
It's 1,
so
2,
people
3,
gift a
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 19, 20. I think it's 20.
Damn.
Thank you for the
That's
20 gifted
awesome.
subs.
Thank you so
Snooper.
Yeah, thank you, Snooper.
Okay.
Also,
Heck yeah.
there's a couple questions that have kind of gotten left behind there. Unix had asked, will this mean that 30 plus player lobbies will be possible in the future?
Yes.
I think that we can even go beyond that once we have a little bit more of like our server support, as well as the optimizations that Proc said that are going to be implemented out inside through here. I think 30 would be a very easy goal to reach, because already we can run fairly well with like 10 users inside of a map and still run at very good frame rates. But usually, even with those people inside there, you have to be mindful that stuff that you're spawning into the world and things that are going on are always going to drop down performance, and because you can have that amount of people, but it's just about the level of performance that you're getting at. And I remember for the EDU streams, they had upwards of like 20 plus people inside of them, and I was still getting great frame rate, still running above 45 frames, but they were just wearing optimized avatars. So just be mindful of that. You can still have a lot of people, but you probably can't have everyone wearing a crazy dynamic bone avatar with a bunch of materials and a bunch of 4K textures. So
it depends on like on what you
also,
do. Like, so you can, like, be
Solnox,
doing,
thank you,
like, some crazy things.
thank you for the follow. And what were you saying, Felix?
Well, essentially, like, I was just adding, like, it kind of depends, like, what you're, like, doing, and it's just kind of designed this way. It's like, so you can, like, be doing, like, really crazy things, but it might be heavy on performance, like, the room is gonna be smaller, or you can, like, have, like, more, essentially, normal session, like, a more for a social hangout, and that can accommodate more people. And as you do more optimizations, essentially, it's gonna generally push the performance, so you can afford to do a lot more, but it will still, like, be dependent on, like, on the scenario. But also, like, one of the things with optimizations is also, like, so things scale better. So, like, you can essentially have, like, a room with lots of, like, different people. And because right now, one of the major problems is, like, the Neos calculates all of the avatars and all of the detail all the time. Even, like, if they're, like, far away, you cannot see them. And it also, like, it doesn't scale too well. As, like, more and more people join, essentially, there's, like, more and more, like, resource strain. And one of the things we'll be doing as part of the optimizations is essentially calling all of the behavior. So like you can have a room with lots of people, and if they're not all like bunched up like into a single like a small area, like the people like they're far away will essentially have like nearly like zero performance impact on your computer. And that way like you can
now
build
that
much
that
rooms.
alone is going to be such a huge optimization point for what Frox is saying, because you could have another person that's far off in the world when you're not looking at them, and they won't be even rendered out or have any performance impact on you inside that. Or that alone would be huge.
Hey.
And yes,
Is one of the-
we are the main developers of Neos DCHUD, as well as thank you for the follow, SE.
And
Nice.
Yep,
there
Frooks
was a
is the
question that
main
was-
developer.
there was a question that was asked before by, I think, Brooks Zero.
What was the question?
Yeah.
far
They
is
were
it?
asking if there was any basically public worlds, if you don't have anyone to explore with, that people can go into.
Yeah, all of our public worlds, all you have to do is just go to the Belt UI and go to Worlds, and then go to Browse Worlds. And then any of the worlds that are highlighted in orange are our featured worlds, as well as there's any world that you can go to that's can be public. And even this world right now is public that you
Is
can
there-
join.
It's actually like looking for somebody to explore it, because like if you go into this menu, you're gonna start your own session, and like other people can join you, but you're gonna be alone when you start it.
Right.
But if you want to join other people, then you want to like look out for this, essentially like the session joiner, and any of the orbs that are essentially pink, they have like people in them. So, for example, you see there are 2 people, 8 people,
Yeah,
9 people.
and you can find
The
this in your
purple ones, they're empty.
and you can find these inside of your inventory. Like you could find this as like a session joiner. So let me like spawn out mine real quick. That's inside the inventory, and you can see all of the different sessions of their active
Spins.
people. There's also, if you click on the board down here, you can also set it to show headless servers, and then it shows all the headless servers inside of here as well.
What does
So-
it mean, headless?
Headless means that it's being hosted by somebody's computer and not by, you know, them themselves.
It's a
opening
true
their
it's a
connection.
dedicated
okay.
server, pretty much. Like
You
instead
just
of
gotta
like
be aware
because
there's not gonna be people in those either, so you'll be alone if you go in.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Essentially,
these
whenever
ones
it's-
these
whenever
ones
it's
you can
purple, it's empty.
yeah, these ones you can tell that there's people inside of there because there's individual numbers that are showing how many people are inside there. So you're seeing like 5 this or 5 people inside here. The world that we're in right now has 8. And eventually, this system though will be going away. It's right now we had it just as for beta, obviously, of having a disk where you join people because the user count was so small before. But now, since we're growing in users of number of people, we're eventually just going to be having that on the new interface, going through.
It's gonna be unified.
Yeah, it's all going to be unified. So, and also thank you for the follow log, as well as Sandy says. Is the hoster of a world acting like a server, meaning people that join that world will only communicate with the hoster and not disclose their IP address to other non-hosted worlds? Or is it more true peer-to-peer magic going on? I believe it's just peer-to-peer,
Essentially, like
right?
no, whoever hosts essentially whoever hosts essentially all the connections are right now like realized through them. We do plan on adding essentially mesh networking where like certain data is like transferred also like between the users and the world. But it also depends a little bit on which protocol you use. Right now we are using we are essentially using a protocol called like LightNetLib. And with that, essentially, that exposes like your IPs. So when you connect, like it's direct like IP to IP connection. You can, however, also like enable in settings prefer like Steam networking sockets. And essentially, this protocol is relayed through Valve's servers, and essentially it hides the IP. And eventually, we want to like make this the main protocol. There are a few problems with it right now, and we're essentially waiting for Valve to fix them. But essentially, they will like the protocol like provides like better behaviors. But right now, the Lenola is the main one that's being used.
Yeah, and Lofty says, love the passion and care you guys have towards the project. Absolutely. I think that this is going to be a really, really awesome VR universe that people are just going to be making and creating all this cool stuff. And we just want to provide people with the information and the help as much as possible so then they can kind of get
All the
going
cool stuff.
and start doing this stuff.
It's
As well as,
definitely fun, for sure.
Vis, thank you for the follow.
A unicorn of Ollie.
I thought you were gonna thank me for the unicorn. Sages.
Yeah, it would be something that's documented somewhere, Sandy. And Angel
It
says...
is a custom system though, like essentially like Neosys like engine and the networking, that's all custom system, and then it's like based on neural principles. The only things there are like essentially the transport protocol. That's not like fully custom, but essentially those are like that's only like, responsible for like transmitting raw data. So it doesn't actually deal with like synchronizing the worlds and so on. So
That's lit.
it's not like a custom networking. It's like using like a modified version of like a library essentially for the transport protocol, but everything else is like built on top of that as well.
Seeker.
So Angel says, really wished my school would have teach us programming. The only thing they teach us is how to place your hand on the keyboard and use MS Paint. Yeah, or drawing ridiculous stuff in MS Paint. I mean, I see, that's the thing is, it saddens me that there's more stuff that they could have taught inside of a public school education that, you know, people could have gone into. It's interesting that they have a different educational system there in the Czech Republic, where they even do from the grades from like kindergarten all the way to 12th grade. They're all inside the same. I kind of like that it's all together and for the one school.
Well, not kindergarten. We essentially have like elementary school. Yeah, no, it's like elementary school. Like we have like a kindergarten that's like more like similar to the US kindergarten, but essentially our elementary school is like 9 years, and like in the US you have like the elementary and middle school, right? But essentially for us, like it's like one school for the first like 9 years.
Right.
Oh wow.
And then if you like you go like to like a somebody getting used.
I like how they know that Sykes isn't.
Why is that?
Command.
Oh, who knows?
Once again.
Awesome.
I thought it's actually one of the things also like we started like NEOS is because we wanted to like improve the educational system, and it's kind of like how like this entire project started.
Yeah, I think it can actually be a lot more engaging for people to learn through a VR setting, because now they're able to grab onto stuff, they're able to interact with things, and actually feel more engaged into learning for the lesson. Also, Leon, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome, welcome. Also, if you guys can see, we got our new follow goal. Our new follow goal would be 3,000. We're working really hard at making out the new Neos merch store. I've been working on it all day yesterday and setting up there's going to be hats, bandanas, stickers, buttons. And during definitely join us for our next week's stream on Friday, because that's when we're going to be giving away a whole bunch of free Neos merch. And we're going to be having cool contests live on the chat. You don't even have to join Neos in order to enter for the items and objects. Yeah, it's physical merch. Actual items, there's even going to be... So like this bandana that you're seeing in-game, there's actually going to be a real-life one that you'll be able to...
You can put them on your real-world avatar.
Yeah, that's what we're calling it.
Real-world avatar.
Also, thank you for the follow, Drunk, and a... Kayubi says games like can also get people into programming for it. Was Gmod with WireMod? Yep.
Yeah. That is one complicated thing to use though with the WireMod.
Yeah.
At least to me.
But I am definitely excited to get something like that. Renari says real world avatar. I love it. Yes. I
think they haven't implemented is swapping for a different
one.
Yeah,
Carol was actually saying, Carol just wants me to buy just like the bandana or something, or what exactly does he want me to buy item-wise, because he was saying...
No, we're gonna like buy a bandana for you, so like we can check it out.
I get it for free?
Actually, he wants to like buy,
Ooh.
Yeah. He wants to like buy like for the whole team.
Oh, cool.
3D printed avatars, that would be cool actually.
That
Maybe in the future.
Maybe with AR glasses. It'd be actually interesting, like put on like the AR glasses and like have like somebody's avatar like projected on them in the real world.
Are we gonna have a sculpture of me too? Like one of those like 3D action figure sculptures? I'd like that.
With the moving limbs, that would be pretty cool.
just make it open 3D print.
I also had like some 3D printed merch. There's actually like a really cool like website that I've used like for some 3D prints. I use it like to buy like gifts like for my family. It's called like Shapeways, and I have like a lot of like printing methods and such.
You and I can make some prototypes for the 3D printed merch.
Yeah.
So you need the next puppet. Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
If I had that thing in real life, that would be so much fun. But I think it's a little bit harder to make out like stuffed animals or such like that. Or not stuffed animals, but they're puppets.
They don't
Life-sized inectual statue.
Jennifer says, "I wish I could switch my real-world avatar." Yeah.
You just need to open an inventory
I
and
know
click
you mean.
the lightning button.
I feel like that would be expensive, but getting a plush of each of the actual like Neos team.
Yeah, it probably won't happen for quite a while. I mean, but a next puppet would be really amazing. It's just like it would be like a sock puppet, but you know.
It's gonna be life size.
That'd be great.
Next fight. Kevin says, need a function to export an avatar in a certain pose and STL file for 3D printing it. Yeah, definitely.
You
I
gotta
make
make
a good
a
printing.
pose.
Tyler says, stuffed animals aren't too hard, though not as easy as most online merch stores. Not sure about puppets. Yeah, I actually searched around for puppets. There was like nothing, but surprisingly there is some stuff to like get out custom stuffed animal type
like the
stuff to
puppets.
be made up.
But
But yeah,
for puppets, like they would essentially need to have like some kind of like design process where they're like, like
yeah.
handmade. Or like if they have like a mass manufacturing.
Yeah, people have also
Real
said
size.
people have said body pillow stuff. I don't foresee us ever selling that
Oh,
on our
God.
store. But you know, maybe on that on the side. But that's not official. Then you're fine. Yeah. Also, Killzerg, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the Neos Twitch channel. And if you guys notice, we also got a brand new color for the follow goal on here. We now got it to this nice golden color, so it matches up for a new look a little bit.
Fruit's color?
You know.
Yep, it's Fruit's color, or well, more like Neo's color. Frox is more
something that might
bright
be
yellow.
Fun, for
What's
the
the
Neos merch.
distant Frux color? Or maybe I'm Neos color.
Also, Prier, thank you so much for the follow as well. Welcome.
Something that would be fun for the Neos merch, if it's possible to do, have maybe like some of the tooltips as like rings
Oh,
you can
yeah.
put on.
Oh, so it so
Something
so
like
so
with a 3D printed one.
yeah. So we were
Like a keychain or
yeah.
something.
I actually saw somebody make a ring that had a magnet on it, and they put the magnet on the ring, and actually had their dev tooltip or whatever tool snap onto the ring, which I thought was so funny.
That is awesome.
Yeah, so it actually, you know how like you know how you equip an item from like a distance. It kind of looks like that, except you're using a magnet.
You should like turn the pen tool tip into an actual pen,
Oh,
Yes.
or like a dryable erase marker. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yep, today is Friday. It feels like it went by so fast. I feel like I did like the 1,000 follow stream just like yesterday. It's like today's been, or like the week went by super quick for
I
me.
can't believe I've been a part of Neos for a week already.
Wait, so you're only a week old in Sevnios?
Yep.
Oh, cool.
He's still part of the family.
Yeah.
Do not bully. I will cry.
Just need a few months later, and then once it'll eventually be your 1 year birthday, I'm sure. In 70s.
I'll blink and it'll have been a year, and I'll be like,
What didn't happen?
Blue, thank you so much for the
Last
follow.
2018,
Oh,
for sure.
whoa. DFG, thank you so much for all the
hello.
gifted subs. Here, how many gifted subs did you get? 1, 2,
A
3,
new challenger
4,
has
5,
arrived.
10 gifted subs. Thank you, DFG.
Actually, Bean.
We
has
have
made
gotten
a-
we already so far. I think we've gotten at least like I don't know like 40 gifted subs so far for this stream. So thank you so much for that, you guys. That really does help us out a lot because it goes directly to Frox and helping out the development of Neo. So when you guys do that, it's not just helping out just the stream. It's helping us to grow out Neos and improve it for you guys each and every single day. And
Make more Neos.
mentioning that, oh wow, okay, thank you, thank you, Hunter. I think that's another 20 gifted subs. Wow, thank you.
He's in here right now. I believe.
Thank you, my G.
Yeah, he's right back here. He's
Also,
right
you
back
can
here.
see inside of your the gifted subs, their names show up in here. So we're just getting flooded right now.
You know, it's gonna be great when Oh hey, I see Galaxy. It's gonna be great when someone like gifts like a bunch of subs and just have like everyone like flying around us.
Oh my god, yeah.
Okay, let's we're gonna have to get the we gotta get the Pog Popper out again, you guys. Pogs in chat. Woo! Heck yeah. Thank you.
You get a sub.
Pog.
We all get the subs.
Fox Pogs.
Nice. Pog.
Oh, it's true.
Brushing.
Heck yeah. Thanks, you guys.
Oh, wow. Oh, the Pogs. Why is there not a Pog gun?
There is. There's
That's
Pog
what this
Popper.
is.
There's Pog Popper.
Poggers.
I think what he
Shrimp-
needs is a pog.
Shrimp says, "All right, Neos, y'all gotta get on that BTTV."
I gotta talk to you.
What is that?
Hey,
Oh no.
Because like we've heard that twice
it's
now.
a Twitch extension. So
Oh.
Fruits, so there's like a
Fel,
Twitch
thank you for the
extension
follow.
people are talking about. And I'm wondering if it could be like implemented into Neos in a way,
yeah,
or
and
at least in the
That kind of
Twitch
depends,
chat.
like if they have like an API.
yeah.
Also,
Also,
I must have missed it.
We could take a look and
yeah,
research
it would be a third-party thing. Also, mentioning that we also would love to show off the Radiant UI stuff, or at least some visuals for that sort of thing. You don't have to really like you know, go too in depth into it, but kind of maybe like showing out a video of like the progress that would.
10 minutes of blubbering about it.
Oh gosh.
10 minutes of endless droning.
Okay.
Speaking of merchandise, you could have a T-shirt of next here just saying thank you 1,000 times.
Oh
Thank you,
lord.
thank you. Yeah, I like the idea of that. Also,
let's
Tyler says
see.
you basically get access to all the community-made emotes. Yeah, that sounds good.
Hey, what about a t-shirt?
Also, welcome,
with,
Trent.
Necks or fruits and like doing the Pog face.
Whoa.
What?
Why not both?
I tried it when I had the electric.
So is this the video of our recent what we're calling our brand new UI, you guys, is called Radiant UI, and it's going to be a whole entire, if you're brand new to Neos and you don't know about what we're doing, we've been working on this new facet UI system for over half a year now, and basically trying to get it and set it forth to where we can actually have a similar system like as an operating system where you can actually place down different buttons through the UI, and it's fully customizable. Also, Dante, thank you so much for the tier 1 subscription. I think Dante's actually inside here. Thank you, Dante. But this is our some
like
work in progress.
Video, so like it's not like really polished or anything. It's
Let's
just me, like,
scale it
testing
up
out
just
the
a little
system.
bit more so than the.
These are actually pieces of the Radiant UI because, like, for example, these menus, these are like Radiant UI, the new lasers, they're part of like Radiant UI.
Yeah,
You
type
have this, like,
exclamation
animation of
mark B's
icons.
and then type in the first 3 letters of the person's name in the channel. And here I'll even type in so you can see badges of the people's names inside here. So if you type in exclamation mark B's and then space NEX, it should pop open. But you can see right here with this UI what we got so far of like how it lays out and how it curves around you like a display.
This is one thing I would like also mention is like this is all like running in progress, and essentially this is also like I'm building like essentially a new dash, but I'm also like wrapping the old UI into this dash. So
Yeah,
essentially
there's
this
a
is the
Discord
old UI within the new UI.
Could you
And this is then gonna be
explain
replaced,
this?
like, by a full new.
Could you explain this Discord screen? What's going on with this Discord thing?
Oh.
How is
Well,
that
I'm just
going
essentially testing. I'm testing like animation. Like you see when they essentially appear and they disappear. Like it sort of like animates, it like fades in. And actually it's a funny thing because like I used the Discord like I sent like a screenshot to a bunch of people like including like Louis, and Louis was that's cool, but can you add Discord now?
Yeah.
And I was like, okay. And then I sent him like a screenshot of that, and it's literally just a screenshot of Discord, like put like into the new
Oh,
dash.
okay. You trolled us,
And-
dude. No,
Yes.
that's so troll.
But like once, because I already like added the code, like it was just the few lines of the code, I needed like something to test animation when like a new thing gets added to the dash. And because I already had it code, that was very convenient to use all this thing, so that's
Hey,
why
here's the
it's
thing is,
much
once we get screen share mode, you guys, as well as like our form of like screen support where you can actually see your desktop inside of game and you can show other people it, we'll be able to have Discord inside of here. We'll be able to have whatever you would like that would be on your main computer, you could have here inside of Neos. Angel says, is it possible to send in my custom tooltip models to get replaced with the current ones? I'm willing to model them matching to their so we are not going to have them possibly replace the current ones unless they're incredibly low poly, and that would have to be something that would be discussed off stream when it is to talk about for modeling out different tooltips, because people have had their own ideas. We could even make like a separate folder and add inside there, but it just depends on how you model them out and how that is a design process, and you'd have to discuss that off stream. Also, Wemmy says, I mean, I want to affect the stream camera with the chat commands. Bees Pizza, not on a specific person chat. You want it? Oh, then just type in exclamation mark bees then, and that should, or whatever, and it should just do it to somewhere in the world, I think.
There was also a question like before that, like that we missed, like
What was the question that I missed? Oh, by you. Why don't you read that one out?
Hey, this essentially is asking, does Radiant UI present component API, buttons, views, etc.? And is there a low-level layer with network syncable and primitive command streams? So there's actually a few things here. Like Radiant, like you can already like build your own UIs within Neos, like using components. Essentially, you have raw access to pretty much everything. And there's buttons, there's like images. You can make scroll areas. You can render text and so on. But essentially asking like if there's like network syncable and primitive command streams. Like Neos doesn't really work this way. Like the way Neos is constructed is essentially it's based around a data model, and the data model is shared, and Neos automatically synchronizes this data model, which essentially in practice means you focus on building out whatever you want out of components. You make like a scene hierarchy and so on, and Neos takes care of all the synchronization. You never have to worry about synchronization. It's essentially guaranteed, and it makes like the development process much easier. And for example, even like this, if you take like this Twitch chat, and I take a developer tool, I can actually open it up. And I can see how is it constructed. So you see there's essentially a canvas. And if I start like expanding out, there's content, header, there's a scroll area, viewport, content, and there's a bunch of images. And let me just find like this one because these are, because each one is essentially a message. So like if I open up this one, and let's say I open this and I change color, you see I just colored change color of this message. Nice. This is all essentially in real time. Neos automatically, whatever modification I make, Neos synchronizes it. I can even like open the text.
The inspector.
You can inspect the inspector. There's also a thing, you see there's for example the text, I can like alter the size, make it tiny.
Wait,
I can even change the font, like if I let me actually make it bigger.
Could you actually, why don't you show that with chat? Replace all of the text in chat right now with like a cool font or something like that. Okay. I think chat would actually really like to see that.
Which one should I use? Megatron.
Anyway,
I can either replace a single message.
Also, thank you for
right now, essentially the text is using font collection, and if I drop it here, you see like this now essentially uses a different font.
Yeah, I can see that.
But we can also, like, one of the funniest things, like when I first implemented it, like custom fonts, well, essentially custom font rendering, this is completely our own system essentially for rendering text, and it supports any fonts. One of the things you can do is, let me just open a text. I create like empty text. You can actually replace the default font used in the world. So if I open up this, open the inspector, through text, by default, essentially each text uses the default font. So I just open the default
thank
font.
You for the follow.
And I take, Megatron, I drop it here. Zip.
All of
now essentially everything. These ones are already overridden, but essentially you see the inspector, for example, it uses this new font. If I open my menu, this now uses the font. Our usernames are now using this font. Or for example, I just brought this.
Yep. So So right now, if you guys can see my hand menu on here, you can see how the text has been replaced on it now, because it's based off of the world. Which you can do this for like if you're having special custom worlds, and you can have it pre-saved. So you can even see this is the Halo text. So
Yeah, the Forerunner font. Like this is if you can use the inspector with this font, it means like one of the two things. Either like you're a really good Neos user, like a really proficient, or you're a really big Halo fan.
oh my gosh. And yeah, that is pretty cool. Also, no game, no life has a question. Can you delete a message from in-game in chat?
Yes. Yeah. We can modify anything. All of this.
I think I don't think he's meaning it in that sense, Frac. I think he's meaning it to delete it directly from chat. Like, let's say if somebody posted something inappropriate and then deleting it from like the main. I think they're meaning like that, right?
Like in this?
Right. No, not in like that. Meaning in like the main chat, like to delete like a message.
Moderate from in
here.
Yeah,
like moderation, like.
No. Like, this is essentially read-only. This would be kind of dangerous because like,
you can't delete a message from here, but
no, you essentially need to do that like to the Twitch page.
Right.
We can maybe add essentially like tools like that for the private UI, but having it like for the public UI that could be like dangerous because essentially you share this like in the world.
Yeah. Also, Sleepy, thank you so much for the follow, and we got a hosted stream from Team Retro. Thank you, Team Retro.
Thank you.
Spec says, on the note of things like font and images, what is the range of file types / assets understood by Neos? Like, what are the limits of things I can just drop in? There's more things that you can drop and drag in than there is things that you can't. So for us to go down the list of things, it would take us too long because there's a lot of stuff that's supported already.
Yeah. I can just say like in general, essentially like Neos supports lots of different file formats. We support about like 40 to 50 different 3D model formats. You can import 3D models. We support about like 20 like image formats. You can import like everything from like JPEG to like raw camera files. We support like lots of audio files. You can like import like files. We support multimedia. Like we can import like videos. You can even import like 3D textures, like volumetric textures, like MRI scans. We support fonts. We support essentially TrueType and open type fonts. So like if you have like a TTF or OTF or OTC file, a bunch of like different font files. You can import those as well.
Yeah,
and you can import text files, of course.
Yep. And let me see, because the chat's going by fast. So Vis says, what's the best way for me to learn how to use some of the more advanced parts of avatar creation / editing? I've been watching a few tutorials, but it seems like there isn't a ton of documentation on the more advanced stuff. Maybe I'm wrong about that though. Very interested in this aspects of Neos. Yeah, if you ever have any questions for that, definitely join our Discord. Our Discord channel has a lot of useful help of being able to help out with setting up avatars, as well as after the stream, if you need help with learning how to set up characters and want to teach other people or do that sort of thing, I don't mind helping you one-on-one, because I feel like the best way to actually teach someone is by having a sort of tutor there and showing them what exactly to do. So, and you can do that all real-time in-world together with people. Also,
one more thing I would like to mention maybe is like actually we have like Prime here. He made a lot of really cool like tutorials on his YouTube channel, and there's a link on our Discord that you can also find.
As well as on the wiki.
If you want to learn a lot more about the things, also like on the wiki. So that's there's much like really good resources. And the important thing is like if you're looking for specific avatar creation, like. Neos essentially doesn't distinguish between like avatar and different things. So like when you essentially learn the general tools, like the developer tooltip, like what you can do with components, you can use that for avatars, you can use that for building worlds, like it transfers across like different things. So a lot of the things like they're not specific to avatars, but essentially like the tools in Neos, they can use like for creating anything, including avatars.
Also, to answer that question on why is everyone inside of Neos a furry, these guys aren't. So there you go. That answers the question. Anyways, Tyler says definitely check out the tutorial on the wiki too. Absolutely. And I think did I miss another question up there? We have Sandy says, do you support Excel macros? Nothing ever goes wrong with those. What's X?
I'm not sure if to say fortunately or unfortunately, but we don't support those.
Okay, yeah, so yeah, we don't do that. Strange Dragon says, does it mean that if a moderator deletes a message on Twitch chat, it doesn't disappear from the in-game chat screen? Question mark. Does that actually do that? Or it
This one, I don't think it does, because I'm not sure if we get it from the API right now. I'd have to
understandable.
check.
Also, Will, I am doing great. I hope you are having an amazing Friday. Nice to hear from you. But yeah, so yeah, but the chat sometimes goes by so fast that it tends not to matter too much.
So like Spixfox is asking about like MIDI. We actually don't support MIDI natively, but like one of our users, Vikalabo, he actually made a MIDI player with Logics. So essentially our like in-game like visual scripting language, it's really powerful. Like you can implement pretty much anything, and people have been like making amazing stuff. And he actually made like a functional like MIDI player. It was like a very like a relatively like simple one. It didn't have like full support and like essentially to use like imported sounds, but like it played like MIDI files, and it was pretty amazing.
Also, Fo says, how would Neos VR be with RTX? So I think that we can benefit from the RTX cards for the most part when it comes to foveated rendering, because you kind of need the processing through a GPU of an RTX card for eye tracking. So I think that's the thing that we're going to benefit the most from. I don't think that we're going to have ray tracing anytime soon inside of Neos, if that's what you're meaning, but eventually we would want to have some form of ray tracing, as well as realistic lighting with reflection probes and other stuff that would be down at probably next year sort of thing. But yeah, we want to push the boundaries for VR and really get that going. And Ted says maybe you can add a feature where you can blur an area you draw. We could do that. We could do that already inside of here.
We have.
Yeah, bring a draw.
I have this brush.
Yeah,
this handy brush.
No, wait, blur out. Don't blur out me. Blur out the camera. Blur out everything. There you go.
There we go.
Imagine if imagine if the whole entire stream was looking like this. Oh no.
Or maybe if somebody like puts like inappropriate message, like we can just be like, nope.
Yeah.
Message
We'll do our real-time censoring inside of here.
Also, Patrol.
Love you as well, Danny.
VR's game engine.
I'm doing hearts for Danny because Danny is deaf, and
okay.
doing some stuff for him.
Neos runs on its own engine, the Freaks engine. It's been actually developed over the course of about 5 years. We do some rendering through Unity, but there's very little Unity left in Neos at this point. We're slowly kind of kicking it out, basically.
Well, we don't have like specific plans like to like remove it fully, but essentially like I should say like Neos is like a hybrid engine. So like a lot of the things like it does like on its own. Unity is essentially used like as a hosting environment and to do the rendering. But even for example with the rendering, like we do our own like asset management. So like when textures are loaded, that's essentially our own like DirectX or OpenGL code. So it's heavily custom, and all of the like scripting, all of the like behaviors, that's all like essentially built from the ground up.
Also, thank you, Foss, for the follow, and Core, thank you for the follow too.
Thank you.
No Game says if you guys get good servers for a lot of people and make it desktop friendly, you're gonna get like 2 people on day 1. Hopefully, I mean, I'm sure. I to be honest with you, I think that the direction of where this can go out, the more that we're working on it, and the more that we have planned out for it, I think that we're gonna be getting many individual people and creators and cool makers and builders, as well as just people who just want to hang out and just socialize in VR as well. Why not be able to have creators and people who just enjoy VR content to be able to work together and be able to see what happens, and maybe even inspire someone who isn't really someone who creates that stuff to start creating things. Patrol says, thank you for your answer. We'll definitely check the game once my index arrives. Absolutely. Thank you.
So, like, one thing I should also mention, we actually do plan on having like a proper desktop mouse like later on. So
yeah, the desktop support that will be implemented, you'll be able to like walk around, move around. Also, you'll be able to edit objects and items in World 2, so it's gonna be pretty. Oh my gosh, that
looks really cool.
Renari says, I know I have a few friends waiting on VR headsets to get into Neos. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, right when they get their headset, definitely get them here inside of Neos. It's pretty awesome. Also, I think that's pretty big for that. Woo. Just like... I don't even see the person's name on that one. I don't know. I'm confused. Log says, when will Unity packages /.mat files be supported for drag and drop?
I don't think we can unfortunately support those in the future because like they're essentially like Unity specific formats, so like they need like the Unity engine like to be interpreted and handled. One thing we will have though is essentially much better like SDK, so you can actually just install it into Unity, practically get an object or scene and have it
I would say Log, just be patient and wait for us to implement out that SDK because we kind of want it to be to where people are importing out objects and importing stuff just strictly as like FBXs or OBJs or just kind of from scratch, and yeah, having it with the way that Neos is, it would be difficult to have.
You can get the asset files
Angel Boy has
from
a
the
question that's
Unity
pretty far up there
as well.
Yeah, there was one about...
Angel Boy's been trying to ask that question.
That one.
I have a more specific... Is there, you know what would be nice about the chat? What you could do is there could actually be a scroll bar, so then it doesn't just snap every single time.
I thought like do scroll bar. It's actually one
A scroll bar would be an amazing feature on this, because then I can like keep it there and then lock it there, so then I can actually like restart. Because I already know that there's gonna be a lot of stuff. But then again,
there we go.
How exactly reflection probes work and how user sees them working? The perks. Yeah.
Well, actually, I'm not like they're not implemented yet, so like there's like that hasn't been like decided yet. But pretty much, I think the way I'm gonna implement it is like you just spawn them in the world, you configure them, like you can specify like what resolution they'll have, what the range they will have, and so on. And then there will be some mechanism to bake them. And essentially, you can either like bake them like individually, or you can like have like something that essentially triggers baking of all of them, and essentially that saves the texture. So I definitely want to make it like so it's like very easy to use and very like fluid with the workflow.
yeah, and yeah, the test did work, my dude. It's looking good. Test. Here, let me reset that real quick. There we go. Also, love you as well, Strange. Thank you for that love. I really like how it also changes colors for the text as well inside of here too, and you can have the all the different.
They're using color codes, like.
Yeah, I know. I just like
code.
that it actually displays it out for that on here.
Yeah.
Wem says in a Ruffle
size.
Gator VOD he spoke and show his pupils changing in game. There, if that's what you meant, Angel. I think that's. Yeah. Who is typing these big letter font texts? What are you doing, person?
Hold on.
It's Danny.
We can reveal them.
Reveal them? Oh gosh.
Yes.
It's Danny.
Let's reveal who
Oh,
it was.
it's Danny.
Secrets. Oh yeah. It's
Okay. Hey, it's unique. It's definitely I've never seen that.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Mr. Score says, what is Radiant UI? Radiant UI is our brand new UI that is being actively worked on and is going to replace the UI that's here currently in Neos with a much better one that will be fully modifiable, and you'll be able to edit, customize it, and it will be a lot more performant, and it will, yeah. So that's what our Radiant UI is. Good question. Good question.
They probably should be changing the characters to like HTML state characters.
Also, I just noticed we have 90 viewers right now here on the channel, and that's so awesome because us having more than 75 viewers at a time is going to help us reach a partnership for the channel, and the more that we get streams like that going would be so very great. And now there's a giant Froc's test that's overlaying the questions. Oh no.
Still learning.
Can someone say
It is.
XSS vulnerability?
No, it's not actually that. It's just like it's just like the styling tags.
Chat. This has to be seriously like the silliest Twitch chat that ever is here. Especially that we have the Twitch chat commands and we have a giant text frogs that just cover up the screen. Oh my gosh.
Unfortunately, the text doesn't support it.
Raptors appear. Oh well, if we're gonna get into raptors, here I got that. Where's let me go my public folder real quick.
One thing I could just do is like disable like the parsing, like because like body code it essentially is,
Whoa.
it has like a parsing like of the styling tags.
Wow, thank
but
you so
that's
much,
pretty
Snooper,
it.
for the 5,000 bits. Thank you. Mwah. That's so kind of you. Yeah, everyone thanks Snooper. He's giving quite a lot of gifted subs, as well as Envy Hunter, as well as many other people that have given out gifted subs. And thank you. I can't thank you guys enough for that. So very kind. Yeah, and there's Snooper right there. Hey, Snooper. You just flying around.
Yeah, I'm not gonna compete with the Snooper with bits.
Yeah. Also, wait, oh. Aegis boy, your body. Thank you, my dude. So let me actually get out that one avatar. What? I wonder where the heck it is. Is it?
Just stick with one then.
See, Log gets it.
Yes.
Log definitely gets it.
Pink is not a supported constant.
Log, I feel it, man. I feel it.
That is a good question.
Perhaps one day.
We need to make a GitHub issue for Bitmod.
Yes, we should.
And then we need like 1,000 people to upvote it.
Yes,
okay, so
go to
here we go. Now we'll get into our
What?
raptor. Am I looking good?
Oh my
That is a very bad raptor.
I feel really, really bad for your spine. Ouch.
Feels good.
lord. No.
Because the head is like where his name tag is.
Okay, but please try to stop with the big text, because when you guys do that, it kind of covers up other people's messages and it's kind of
Yeah.
harder to read.
I think Danny did it again.
Okay.
Time to get him on.
Danny, and sorry.
Danny. No.
Max,
That-
you're doing it all wrong. If you want to
Huh?
be a dinosaur, there's only one dinosaur that's really worth being. Hello.
It looks like Nex is like scratching his like raptor head right now.
Scratch. Square says, what are the early performance benefits you are seeing with the Radiant UI opposed to the current UI system?
The text rendering.
We actually no. Like we actually have like this was one of the first phases of like the UI update, but this was done like months ago because originally we were like using sort of like a hybrid UI system which used the Unity system, but essentially that had lots of performance issues. And for example, if you did like open an inspector, like having this open, like if you open this, like this would lag you a lot, and especially if you open the root, like if you open the root, this is gonna take a little bit, but essentially with the previous build, like this would lag you for several seconds, and once this was opened, you would essentially like your FPS would drop to like 20 or something. So we essentially replaced the system with our completely own UI framework, like written, like designed and written completely from scratch. It includes like the text rendering system. It also includes essentially the entire like UI framework, and that is called UIX. It's like sort of like a joke name. And when this essentially introduced, like that provide a huge performance benefit. It's essentially like several like orders of magnitude faster. It's more efficient. It's also like much easier to work with. Like the code is much easier to extend. So it opened up like a lot of possibilities. And now essentially Radiant UI, that's like more like the user-facing layer. Like that's essentially built on top of UIX, like the UI framework. The written UI itself is not as much responsible for performance because like that's all the heavy work, all the heavy lifting is done by the UIX. But it does. It essentially did like some like incremental improvements, like for example the new lasers. The new lasers, they are more efficient. Like the new essentially context menus, they're also like a lot more efficient. So there was also like some performance increase. But the biggest one was done by the UI framework itself, like the low-level part.
When you spin, does it actually spin your avatar or does it spin your VR camera too? No, it spins me like I feel like I'm spinning around, like, and I can see it visually too. So yeah, no, you can see it. As well as if you get zooped or gravity gets flipped or you get exploded, you know, everything is seen. Oh
so
yeah.
Just to give you some idea like how much UI is there. Like, do you think you can show this?
Oh, we're getting a Zeus here.
Oh,
Aegis.
why Aegis?
Why
So
Aegis?
mean.
I do?
Poor Aegis. Also, okay, and the Zoop. Okay, hello. Hi.
You can also show this. It's like a showcase essentially of the new UI framework.
Yeah, I can show. What, do you want me to do your viewpoint?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna do Frox's viewpoint now, and then you can show, what's up. What's fresh.
So here essentially, I enlarge like the inspector, and it's actually not even everything of these still scrolls. So like, and you can see there's a lot of UI.
Yeah, that thing's huge. Look at that, you guys! This thing's crazy.
Yeah. And essentially, like, this took like about a second to generate. But the old essential system like would freeze like for like 5-10 seconds, and like your frame rate essentially would
trust
be
me,
like,
I know.
like
I remember that.
under 20 FPS or even lower. So the new framework gets a lot more efficient.
So as I was saying, so Z says, I know there is a rising population of Japanese users in ESVR. Are there any translation terms in development or anything to help with non-speaking English communities in East Asia? So right now, that's why we've established out the Neos East Japan to basically help users who are Japanese to be able to communicate and talk with them. We're not going to be having anytime soon on our side to be able to translate it out, because we still even have to get out tutorials even for the English side. Like we're already even trying to show off for stuff like that. So to trying to do other languages, at least for right now, is a little bit not feasible. But that's why we're having people, if you see them with the Neos East Japan icon over their head, you can either ask them for help, and they would be a Japanese user, as well as the Japanese community has been making out their own stuff to translate out a lot of stuff that's here inside of Neos using through icons and such.
Even the wiki.
But later on, in a later date, we will have a form of Japanese version style of Neos, or even just other languages that you would be able to choose through this now text system to translate it out.
There is one thing we should mention though, because like one of our users, Anomalous, he has actually built a real-time translation tool using Logix and using like the recursive like Azure translation services. And here I brought a video. It's true where he's like showcasing it.
You can barely hear him. His voice be so
like
low.
kind of quiet. But essentially, like he's talking,
super
it's
loud.
like analyzing his voice, and like it's being like translated in the real time. And
Yep. So
some people have
as
actually
he's
been
talking,
using like this.
yeah, as he's talking right now, his voice is being translated voice to text, and then it's being translated out to Japanese.
Well, German in this case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it shows
Prox
Japanese
just
at one point.
Prox pulls he has interdimensional pockets where he just pulls out all the videos that he wants out.
Let's just search on YouTube.
Score says, I recently got an Oculus
very good
Quest. Is
Japanese.
there going to be a version of Neos that for SideQuest or on the Oculus Store? Probably not on the Oculus Store, but whether it already is on SideQuest. We have Neos VR on SideQuest already.
We want to eventually get it like on the Oculus Store, but it kind of like depends on Oculus essentially approving it, and we definitely need to like get into a state essentially where it's like approved in the first place. So that's more of a long time
Yeah, they're special about it when it comes to you know, getting stuff added onto their store. They're very harsh.
Yeah, they might like not. They don't even like approve essentially certain like concepts. Like so, even if you don't have like any code, they just don't like the concept, so they might not.
Yes,
It's
Mario,
kinda
thank
up
you for the
in air.
follow. Thank you. And Z says, that's awesome. I know they are currently doing English conversation classes inside of Neos VR to help with the large English-speaking community. Yeah, absolutely. I'm very excited that they're doing that sort of thing, and I love the Japanese community. I think what that they're making out inside of here is so awesome and cool. I love the card game that Renium has been setting up. Renium is one of the main people who have been learning out a bunch of logics inside of Neos, and I would say that they're doing a really, really good job at teaching other people how to use logics as well inside the Japanese community, as well as the users there have been so supportive in helping out each other for that. But I think that their community is already growing out in a natural way, and I feel like we don't even have to do anything really on our part because we have that Neos East Japan team for the most part to help out those Japanese users and get them to understand it in a better way, at least for right now. But hopefully down the road when Neos gets larger, we'll have better systems.
There's one more thing I wanted to like mention. Well, actually, I do have planned like a translation system so you can translate the interface of Neos itself, and not just like the interface, but essentially anything. And recently, actually, like I was like just looking for something else to do. I couldn't like sleep, so I just started like essentially like designing the system. And essentially, the goal is you can sort of create like these like language packs, and the pack essentially contains like resources, mostly like text. And then somebody essentially can like take this pack and create like a Japanese version of it, or like a German version of it, or Russian version, or Czech version, and that essentially that way, not only like Neos's like own interface can be translated, but if you're like a world builder or like you build a tool or something, you can actually have other people translate your world and translate your tools. So that's something that's coming along in the future. Not sure when, but it will be coming.
I just wanted to get this away from the fog volume so that it looks a little bit better.
Stay with me. Nihon wa saiko.
Sugoi.
Friends the best.
Foss says, what do I need to learn to make worlds inside of Neos? So I would say a good place to start is we have the tutorial videos that are on our wiki, as well as what you're also going to need to have access to is inside of your inventory we have the essential tools, and understanding and learning the tools first is going to get you very accurate as to learning how to build out stuff in world. This whole environment that you're seeing right now, all of the models were imported inside of here, and they were set up inside of here manually using this tooltip. So you can see right here I can move around objects using my developer's tooltip, and I just aimed at this when having this equipped, and I aimed it with my secondary, and now I can move it and manipulate it out if I want. And let's say if I mess something up, I can even open up my hand menu and undo it and press Control Z, and it's kind of like a Control Z in a way.
Pretty much you're inside the game engine to edit pretty much anything inside a world, avatar.
Yep, I would highly recommend, if you're wanting to do world building, learn the tools first and learn how to use the tools, and basically just practice here inside Neos and see what other people are doing, and that's the best way that you can learn, is by actually viewing somebody building stuff using their hands, and then you can learn how to do it yourself. Any plans on advertising the game in the future? Yes, but we're not really trying to do some hard advertisement, at least until we have some very core features inside of Neos and it's ready for that state. Yeah, especially the UI. So once the UI is situated in a better state, we might even have a few advertisement videos, as well as we're going to have a complete redesign of the Steam store page. Right now, the Steam store page is in an abysmal state. It has very old photos. It has an old trailer. So we're going to be updating our Steam page with new photos, new stuff, new advertisements. So yeah, there's going to be a whole entire redesign of how we have it laid out for Neos. But as of right now, we want to focus on the core stuff and getting out those features out for you guys for the new UI. From Bex says, I know you guys are working lip tracking. Are you all planning to make third-party add-ons for headsets?
we're not actually making like the hardware itself, like the ellipse tracking hardware that's done by HTC. We're like making the Vive headsets. We're essentially integrating the support for this hardware into Neos.
Yeah.
So
We don't do any
hardware making
yeah,
business.
yeah. There's no hardware that we build out. Mr. Squarepeg says, are height maps supported in the Neos VR currently? Yes, there are height maps that you can add on to materials. And Z says, I'm really excited about Neos VR, but I have a hard time running it. Are there any basic optimization guides around? I wouldn't really say that there is an optimization guide because you can't even really adjust the graphical settings of Neos yet. I would just say probably if your computer is having a hard time running it, just be patient, wait for us to have like more updates out that are gonna optimize it out even more so, because it is still pretty
Also,
new.
maybe ask like what kind of like hardware essentially running on, like
Yeah, actually you can, obviously in the Steam VR settings, you can lower the resolution as well for the headset. Lowering out the resolution would probably be your best bet for trying to optimize it a little bit more.
On the Neos
And
launcher, which
refresh
is located in your Steam Apps page for Neos, there are settings within there too to change the texture scaling. That could help in some cases.
no, that doesn't work. Like that won't do anything. There's like there's a very old system essentially that's been like superseded by the asset variant system.
Oh.
Mr. Paul
So,
says,
I
you
thought
guys
you
got
moved some
Soda
point about
Poppin'
talking about
and
the
Raffle
launcher.
Gator to play. That's pretty good advertisement already. I would agree. Yeah, they. It was really cool to have them inside of here, and I'm very thankful that I got to meet them, and it was fun to hang out with them, and hopefully they come back inside of here, you know, ever so often. How often do you stream? We stream every single Friday, usually at 3 to 3:30 p.m. is when we start. Also, Lady, thank you for the follow, as well as for every other Wednesday, we try to do a helper stream. We weren't able to do one this Wednesday because I was having to help out Chance and Rob, or Soda Poppin' and Raffle Gator. But for the following week, we'll be having hopefully a stream that teaches about how to use materials more, and maybe even go and extend on how to use the new material that got implemented here inside of Neos, the brand new one that's fully reactive.
Wait, do you still have your thing saved?
Yep, I still got mine saved. So this is the material that we'll teach and show for next week's stream on Wednesday to learn how to create something like this, as well as basically going over materials for the beginner's tutorial, teaching the basics of how to use the material tooltip. So that's what we're going to be teaching. So check that out for next week's Wednesday stream, and then the coming up Friday stream. Well, actually, the coming up Wednesday stream, check that out for the material, and the coming up Friday stream is going to be for when we're giving out the free merch, as well as celebrating the fact that we have gotten over the 1,000 followers again, and basically giving back. And we're going to be having a contest where we're going to be doing a bunch of fun stuff, such as like Pictionary, guessing how many vertices a model has, and then you win that prize, all that kind of cool stuff. So.
I can show this one.
Is that Via?
Yes.
What the heck? Oh, what the heck? Here, wait, yeah, I can see that. That's weird.
But can you apply that to
It's
an
the same
avatar's
material.
geometry?
Yeah, I know it's the same material.
Yes, you can.
Oh dear.
Yeah, let me show that.
It gets weird.
It gets weird. Okay, now put your hand near it.
What?
Oh, I don't think my hand has the.
What the heck is going on with my hand?
Put your hand on you.
Okay, so I gotta keep up with chat. Z-Doc says, guessing how many vertices a mall has. You guys are such nerds, you know it. We thought that would be a cool idea. You know how like they have like the jar that has like a gumball inside of it, or guess how many gumballs that are inside the jar. It's gonna be like something like that, but it's gonna be for vertices. Zern says, Neosphere, I saw a video of you guys building animated. Can you take this material off of me, please?
Sorry.
Neosphere, I saw a video of you guys building animated materials, and it looked very endless of where you could take a 3D model, but could you create a model for a material and give it the same value as a chemical? script it so that it's like it reacts if you reacted with it, like giving an object or a room temperature value and seeing it react when you mess with it, because I know there's a lot of world creation with structure, light, and time. Far down can you take it? I would say with certain logics and scripting, you would be able to probably make out something similar to that, of making a form of reaction, especially with the new material that we were just showing of like a reaction. Does that material, can it react with other materials?
No,
Or other
well, you can kind of like script it, so like essentially like you like the material itself, like it doesn't like do anything, like essentially feed like the points like where like essentially the point where it should like react like with logics or other components.
Yeah, and then you says, is Frox going to be around after the stream? I have one or two things I'd like to ask afterwards. Well, you have to ask
I'm
Frox.
gonna be around.
Yep, so he'll be around.
I'll get a little bit tired too.
Lady also says, that's so cool. You guys have an amazing thing going here. Keep it up. Aw, that's very sweet. Thank you, lady. Yeah, no matter what, I will be here for you guys, as well as you know, wanting to be sure that all of your questions are answered through, and that's why we do these streams. We do it for our community, and we really want to be sure that we have a really amazing and awesome community still here in Neos, as new people are coming inside of here and realize that people here are incredibly friendly and really want to express that out, that, you know, it's still a very small community inside of here, and people are tend to be pretty nice in here.
Can I also show this? So that's essentially like what another like proper community has built. So it's sort of like a logic essentially that like I think it like fetches information from a database, and essentially then builds out the molecules, and so we're like asking about like chemistry and so on.
Well, so then perfect.
So like,
this
logic is pretty like powerful. So like there's like a lot.
So this person, this person is using, this person is using logic to build out molecules, which very cool.
Yeah.
Yep, it is almost 2 a.m. for Frox.
Some online database.
Is it almost 2 a.m. for you, Frox?
Yes, it's like 1:43.
Also, as he says, awesome, huge props for reading my name correctly and getting the nickname right too. No problem.
What?
And Jer says, I wish I could be back and join you guys, but Neos is lagging way too much for. Aw, sorry. Can people do anything like Udon in Neos? I really like the stream. We have something like basically it's better than Udon. Sorry, but it is because it's like in-world logic scripting. So what you were seeing right there for that video for that molecule, that's logics, and it's in-world VR scripting, and other people can learn and use it.
Yeah, I thought they were talking about actually making noodles that you could like wiggle around.
Yeah. Here we got Udon. There you guys go.
That's 3D skin right there. People are wondering.
Delicious. The same is happening for. Aw. Also, DJ Wolf, thank you so much for the follow. Yeah, tasty indeed. Oh man, now I want some ramen. I want some ramen bad now. Like seriously, I'm super. Okay, time to get the ramen out. No.
But we would have like an essential like in-game like visual scripting language, so you can like you can essentially build things like completely like in-game and in real time. So
essentially, you guys.
Let's see if I want
essentially. I love your Frox. No. This is mine. You get your own.
Oh.
Okay, fine. Here you go.
Yay! Just gonna.
You can't even grab it. Here, wait. Let me give you permissions. I did.
I'm surprised that no one's like made chopsticks
there you
that
go.
grab out like.
Thank you.
Chains
I guarantee you, the Japanese community are already gonna build something like that out. I promise you that. Vil, wouldn't foveated rendering be incompatible with streamers? No, It wouldn't.
Not necessarily. It kind
No.
of depends, like, what you do, because, like, in EOS you have the streamer camera, and essentially the streamer camera does, like, separate rendering. So essentially, like, it renders an extra view. It does take more performance to do that, but essentially it's something.
Yeah, it's
that can
more
be, like,
performance, but you
used,
should still be able to benefit from once we have foveated rendering inside of here, and once more headsets start having eye tracking. Yeah, you'll be able to still benefit through it, even if you're streaming or not. So yeah. Renari says, "Is there ever going to be a Friday stream that doesn't make me hungry?" No, because usually I end off these streams being completely starving because I never eat breakfast and I never. Yeah, so probably no. I will always talk about food. Well, I know, but when my stomach starts growling, then I know to end off the stream. And Tet says, Neos is the main reason I want VR now. It should be. I think it's going to grow exponentially, and if you're not getting into Neos now, you should, and you should become a Patreon and get that extra NCR and invest in it now for the most part, because I think that's going to grow a lot in the next year or two. NZ says, I might have to go get ramen for lunch today. Me too. I wonder if DoorDash delivers ramen. If they do, then I'll be getting that myself. Patrol says, what are the recommended specs for Neos? We have a recommended specs on our Steam page, and you can find the Steam link on our Twitch channel right on here. I would recommend probably for your GPU running around like a 1060 with higher than an i5 for your CPU. Also, Savage, thank you for the follow.
Like a very simple example of like the visual scripting.
Oh, right.
Thanks, DJ, you're sweet.
Next, also like showed essentially a very simple
Deputy,
example
thank you for
of
the
visual
follow as well.
scripting.
Oh, you have a 1060 with an i5? Oh, well, perfect. Mwah, chef kiss. Chef kiss. Mwah. Evan, thank you for the follow as well. Wow, we're getting so many new follows. You guys are awesome.
Thank you.
Before you know, we're already gonna reach 1,000 gold, or the 3,000 gold as well. I wonder what we're gonna do for that one.
I don't know. That's an X.
Yeah.
I put like a very simple example, like the visual scripting. Essentially, just like I'm just like driving. Here I have like a time that's like changing.
Oh yeah, you're
and
changing the color of the
color view.
Yeah, you're changing
and
the color.
driving like the color. Yep.
Nice.
It's like something essentially I put like together, like pretty much on the spot.
Yep. So
you can just put time into Hue. Goddammit. I've been using sign. And
yeah, this is so simple compared to like how most people do it.
But I can like grab like the ground material.
Yeah, obviously instead of Neos, the more powerful CPU that you have, the better time that you're going to be running out Neos. So the CPU does matter, and the RAM matters too, and the GPU matters as well. Tet says, runs fine for me in desktop. I have a 970. We'll see what happens when I get VR. Yeah, right when you get that VR, my dude, I would recommend upgrading your PC first. At least if Neos is as high end on the scale as you're trying to get to of where your PC matters inside of here, especially for real-time editing. For me, I usually get around like 45 plus frames with my 1080 Ti and an i7 8700K. But yeah. Also, Silly Salad, thank you for the follow. Very kind of you.
Oh, the ground is moving. Okay, I was like, wait, why am I still moving?
Yep.
You should use the T on 10. It's moving way too fast.
Well, this is perfect.
But yeah, I would recommend Tet, what you should do is you should probably even buy like maybe like a used GPU, maybe like a GPU or a CPU that's been used for like a year or something, or something like that. Oh, yeah, you're making the floor move. Oh yeah, that looks weird.
Yes.
I don't like it.
Looks
Change
cool,
it.
though.
You're getting me nauseous.
Especially when
That's
the ground is like because of the height and all that.
Yeah, no,
It actually kind of
nauseous.
looks like lava except for the
Yeah, the
green
floor
bit.
is lava. Hey, we could turn the floor to be lava if we really wanted to make the floor lava, Frox.
Okay.
Ah!
Whoa,
That's
not
not
that!
Oh god.
Z says, "All right, I have to head. Oh my gosh, I have to head out for the day. Good luck with the rest of your stream. I'll have to get on later today and try out the to get my avatar loaded and fixed in. Yeah, Z, add me as a friend. It's NEXULAN Nexulan. If you add me as a friend, I will be able to help you out if I'm online and I can help you out with anything that you want inside here.
Will just hop into a world.
Yeah, anyone on stream, you can add me as a friend. I don't mind as long as you got VR and you're wanting to learn Neos. Just let me know and I'll be able to help you out today. So, as well as we're gonna be doing out.
I'm protected by bad spelling.
Yeah, we're gonna be ending off the stream, you guys, in around 20 minutes. So please keep your questions coming. We'll still be answering any and all questions. And again, just wanted to say thank you for the awesome amount of support that we've been getting on Patreon. We reached we went all the way from $5,600 to Patreon support to already to $6,600 to our Patreon support, which is massive in the amount to happen in less than 2 weeks.
Thank you.
So the people who have been supporting us, thank you so much again for that. And we really want to be sure that you guys benefit from it as well. And as always, please join our Discord if you ever need help with anything that's related to Neos. And as well as if you're enjoying Neos and really like it, please write us a review on Steam. It does help us out once we get those reviews. So if you're enjoying it, just give us a review on Steam. It does help us out quite a bit. Zern says, at NeosVR, that Logic's work on material is awesome. I'm doing a project and uses a chemical compound to create a battery, but without the hand parts, it's hard to work. Being able to script a model and make the prototype in-game sounds like a dream. It's amazing how far ahead your game is. Yeah, that's what you said right there is the biggest thing I feel like, is that you can do it all in-game and you can do all this prototyping and all this work. And I think that it works so much more fluidly when working with other people, because you're doing it all real time together and you're doing it collaboratively. It's the collaboration that really makes Neos so strong, because you can't do that sort of thing in Unity. In Unity, you have to actually give somebody the Unity project file and have that be, set up by itself. Also, Plush, thank you for the follow.
Also, like when you're like working like alone, like it really cuts down your like iteration time, because like when you're essentially working with Unity, you have to like build out a scene, then you have to like publish it, you have to like go into your VR headset, check it out if it works correctly,
we have had
and, like, then you notice something's bad. And
we have had people that have never touched Unity before in their life and have been able to come inside of here and build stuff as if they were to build it out in through Unity. So just seeing stuff like that is really, really awesome. And once we have better building tools, it's going to make it even that much more fluid for VR building and really getting into this new age of VR input and realizing that, virtual reality is something that should be treated as such. It shouldn't just be like a game console. It should be something that is like a mouse or keyboard. And Renari says, everyone making VR in 2020, Neos be making a 3020. Yeah. Well, hey, we're going to have, hopefully in 3 years when those Tesla suits come out, we'll be having full-body haptic suits inside of here, too. Imagine adjusting real-time the heat intensity of your suit with a fire, or having it in a cold environment. You can adjust the way that that temperature of the suit is. We'll be able to have that probably 3 years' time once those start coming out, and we'll have those fully implemented. So we really want to get the new hardware inside here, too. Foss says, what is Neos credits and what is it used for? Neos credits are used to tip people inside of here, as well as commission people for doing out projects. You could eventually, we're also going to be having a complete brand new store system once we get our content ID system in place, and through that you'll be able to purchase any and all items that will be posted out through the store using only NCR. So it's going to be our full-on cryptocurrency, and it's NCR is also minted out and made out through an already established cryptocurrency, which is Ethereum. So and that's how the mint batch is minted out. It's minted out through an established cryptocurrency. So definitely Neos credits are really awesome, and it's going to be a great way to be able to establish out the economy inside of Neos as time goes on, once the store system is in place. But we already use NCR right now just to tip people for the help, or doing out stuff for projects, as well as I've given stuff out. I've given out NCR for people who have helped me with things inside of here. So you can kind of like.
There's like one more thing I should mention essentially with NCR, because like it has like another purpose. It's essentially our Patreon supporters and people who like invest into the ICO. Essentially they get like NCR as their reward. And for us, it's also like a way of essentially saying like thank you for like supporting the project, especially supporting it early.
Yep, you get more than half of your money back as NCR?
Every time, like, essentially we mint a new, like, NCR badge, the price, like, increases. And essentially the NCR, like, you get, like, it becomes worth a little bit more. And that way, essentially, as Neos grows, like, your NCR, like, it will be worth more and more. And the way people, like, who supported the project...
Are we good? I think my internet went out. I don't know if you guys can see me, though.
Checking. Yep, you back.
I'm back up?
You're back up.
Cool. Sorry about that, you guys. My internet went down. Yeah, I've been having some weird DNS problems. I don't know what's going on with that. Just right in front of the camera. Also, Shori said, I have to go, but I would like to tell you guys that you are awesome, and it's been amazing to play this game and meeting all of you. I'm excited to see what Neos has in store for the future, and excited to see this community expand. Me too, man. Absolutely. And Tet says, I don't believe in trading crypto for fiat. We gotta pump up digital economy and make it stable. I guess. I mean, I still feel like buying digital assets using cryptocurrency can work out too as well. But we're going to have for our system to be able to use fiat currency as well to be able to purchase out items and such inside here too. We just want to have an established currency here inside of Neos. And good. I'm glad that we're back. Yes, welcome back, everyone. I mean, this is going to be like literally like the last 10 minutes of the stream anyways. So we're going to be just like plugging this back in at the end because we were going to end off the stream anyways pretty soon. If you guys have any still more questions though that you would like to ask or just want to get out, please let us know inside of chat and we're here to answer. We're going to be ending off the stream in around like 9 minutes, so please let us know. I got to get some of that ramen. Delish. Hey, Sex. Are we good for chat again? Or are we good? Are we frozen? Hello?
Is it clogged?
It might be clogged.
Reloaded.
Oh no, no, we're getting it. Spec says, to be honest, I'm not much of a fan of cryptocurrency in general, but if it has a strong use case, I think VR goods is high on the list. Yeah, I would say that out of all things that would make sense of using a cryptocurrency for, it would be to use it for virtual goods. I mean, it makes perfect sense. Gonna go get some curry myself next. Have a good night. Maybe see you later. Absolutely, Tatsu. Have a wonderful Friday. It was nice to have you guys here, and thank you again for joining the stream. It was a lot of fun. Spec says a bit hit and miss, but it's going. Yeah. I think it's just my DNS server. We'll be ending off the stream pretty soon, so.
Thanks.
But yeah, keep your questions coming. We got 7 more minutes left on the stream. Oh yeah, the stream quality's going out. Sorry about that. My apologies. You're amazing, Frux. Amazing.
What?
Amazing. What is the policy on not safe for work stuff? Just keep it inside of a private world. Angel says, having some intense depression attacks right now. I think I'll ditch for today, I guess. Oh well, don't have depression, Angel. Feel better, my dude. I'm here for you, man, if you need to talk. Kira says, I wanted to say my personal thanks for making Neos VR a thing. Having the ability to make things within the game is honestly fun to play around with. And by the way, next, amazing of all you have. Oh, thank you. Thank you there, Kira. Whoa! Made my head big.
Oh no, his ego inflated it.
My ego is already too big. Zern says, at Neosphere, I wanted to ask about the currency. If you look down the line in a couple of years and this game is popping off, wouldn't the early patrons and players almost have a monopoly of the in-game market if the value has gone up a lot? Or does the currency have such a value where it's going to take a lot for it to fluctuate in that kind of way? It doesn't. It's a gradual state of fluctuation. So it just like for an example, one NCR was worth 6 cents back in the very beginning, or actually it was worth 0.05 something cents, and now it's worth almost 9 cents. So it's a very slow state of growth of value, and I can't foresee it going super rapidly up until. But I mean, I would say that people who are getting into it right now would benefit because they would probably be making their money honestly back, because they would be getting. I foresee NCR at least doubling, no matter what. It's for sure gonna double, but it's probably gonna be beyond. It's probably gonna be beyond that for sure. It's gonna be definitely in like the dollars range.
It's like grow. It's actually designed like to grow like really gradually because
it's a
we've
gradual
essentially wanted
state
to
of
be like
growth.
more stable currency, but this is like during the minting phase. And essentially once like the minting ends, so like essentially that's gonna be you won't be able like to mint any more NCR, and however a big amount of NCR exists at the time, essentially it's gonna be all the NCR is gonna exist. And at that point, essentially, its prices will be determined by the market price, and essentially that's like how much people like will buy it and sell it for. And it's gonna be like make it increase more. For example, like with other like cryptocurrencies, where like the same unit of the cryptocurrency essentially is like worth like 1,000 times more than it was like years ago. So the price essentially will be then determined by the market.
Yep. And then Rosa says, when your head goes big, does it change your view at any point? Yeah, I can see the inside of my mouth when that happens. Mr. Square says, got a question. When can we expect the server optimizations to happen? Just curious.
I'm not sure what exactly do I mean like by server optimizations, but in general, essentially optimizations are done like they're like done gradually throughout essentially like the development. Also like by adding a lot of like the new features. For example, physics that's gonna incorporate like upgrading the physics engine, and the new physics engine essentially is much more performant. And also plan essentially doing like more like performance passes after like the UI is done. So it's gonna be like more optimizations done that way. So like they're like specific like for server, like there are like server optimizations that are like done in the past, but in general like optimizations are done all across the board.
Yep. Okay, well that's everything for all of our questions for today, you guys. I love you all so very much. Have an amazing Friday. Thank you again for joining us here on this Friday stream. Please join us for next week because we're going to be showing off all of the new content, or all of the content for this month, of all the stuff that people have created out, as well as celebrating the fact that we have now over 1,000 followers, and we're going to be giving back to you guys. We're going to be giving out free bandanas, free shirts, free stickers, free buttons for you guys specifically, and chat can be inside of here. Hearts to you guys. Love you all. Grim, thank you for the follow. Karo, yep, have an amazing weekend as well. Peace to you all. See everyone. Thank you again. No game, no life. Thank you for the follow as well. See ya, hearts. Here, do we got those? Actually,
Tiny little gun.
A tiny dollars.
See you guys later.
Tiny dollars.